Come on and shout now. Come on and shout now. Hey, 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 hey. How about them Buffalo Bills, man? Wow. Wow. The Bills defense. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go, Buffalo. How about it, man? This Bills defense with the greatest game that I've ever seen. That 101-yard touchdown return by Taron Johnson, one of the greatest plays that I've ever seen in my life as a Bills, watching the Buffalo Bills. And I've been on this earth for 26 years, and I've never seen a play like that in Buffalo Bills history. It was going to be 10-all. Taron Johnson steps in front of a Lamar Jackson pass, and he houses it 101 yards. I mean, it reminded me of the Auburn kick six. Now, it wasn't as dramatic as the kick six, but still, what a game. Tyler Bass was absolutely awful. But the Bills defense, I mean, this defensive line, Matt Milano, it just shows you the Bills can win in multitude of ways. And the defense, Sean McDermott, Leslie Frazier, you see why Leslie Frazier is still a top coaching candidate, because he's an unbelievable defensive coordinator. Stephon Diggs had a huge play. Devin Singletary with the biggest Devin Singletary, there was that huge third down conversion early in that, in the third quarter. A phenomenal drive to start out the third quarter. The Ravens played very well. Their defense is super legit. Gabriel Davis dropped a touchdown that should have been a touchdown, but the Ravens defense, I mean, Marlon Humphrey's really good. Jimmy Smith's really good. Marcus Peters is great. So the Ravens have a great football team. It's just that the Bills defense at home, phenomenal. The Bills defense, because you see how hard it is to play defensive football now. All the rules are orchestrated to passers, and you even saw Josh Allen get hit, and they called a roughing the passer. For the Bills to win this game and to shut down Lamar Jackson and this Ravens offense over 3 quarters, let up 3 points, a great game. A great game. And yes, Lamar Jackson might have scored one more touchdown, but it was a 14-point game. That was almost a safety. The Ravens also had some poor snaps from their offensive center, but it was an unbelievable game. And Justin Tucker also did not adjust. He missed field goals. But again, the Bills defense, they did an unbelievable job containing the running game of both Lamar Jackson and J.K. Dobbins. I mean, it was unbelievable. Hollywood Brown had nothing. There were barely any yards throwing the ball from Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen played very well in the conditions. Lamar Jackson did not play as well as Josh Allen. Josh Allen played a better football game than Lamar Jackson today. And this Bills team at home is the team of destiny, man. I mean, this Bills team goes to an AFC championship. What an unbelievable game from the Bills. I think that they were up like 10-3. I just think that this game today, the Ravens needed to run the ball in these cold conditions. They couldn't. And Lamar Jackson, the thing that Lamar Jackson did is that in the pocket, he was flustered a lot. And the Bills' pass rush got to Lamar Jackson throughout this game. He was double clutching. He was holding the ball a lot. And there wasn't anything on his first few reads. He was very indecisive in the passing game, Lamar Jackson was. And Lamar still had that unbelievable 3rd and 18 throw early in the game, but the Bills were constantly getting them in 3rd and long situations. And you know what? The Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson is an unbelievable quarterback. He's almost 23. He's only 23 years old. He's the reigning MVP. this guy, Lamar Jackson, these two teams are going to be battling for years and years. I mean, this 2018 draft class is phenomenal. And Lamar Jackson and this Ravens team, you look at how good the Ravens defense is. You look at John Harbaugh. You look at the Ravens beating the Ravens were able to beat the Tennessee Titans badly. And listen, Buffalo, it's just their year. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just a special year and a special season. And, you know, I look at that Josh Allen, you know, that punt that the Ravens shanked, poor snaps. And the Bills were a sharper football team. And the Bills defense today played the game of their life. And I thought Tyler Bass wasn't good. I thought Justin Tucker, you know, missed some field goals early in the first half. But the Bills, I think, dominated the third quarter of play, and that's what it came down to. The Bills in the third quarter, that interception return, that's what the game came down to, was that interception play, because both defenses were lights out. But the Bills today, against the run, their defensive line, what Brandon Beane has built, it was actually excellent. Tyler Bass is very good, but he had a chance to ice the game. And listen, when you play up in Buffalo, when you play in Baltimore, these guys are used to the win. So listen, you have to trust, you know, your special teams in these types of circumstances. But this game was fun. Unlike the Packers game, which was a pile of dog crap where the Rams had no chance of winning, both of these teams were lights out defensively. Everybody was so close. And you know what happened? You know what happened is, you know what really happened in this game was that the Bills' defensive line was really ferocious, getting after Lamar Jackson. J.K. Dobbins struggled to catch the ball, but this is only a rookie running back. And the thing is, Stephon Diggs didn't really do that much in the entire game, so the Ravens played great too. Both of these teams, it was a heavyweight slugfest. Both teams were playing really stout. It was a cold January game that was absolutely a classic. And then Taron Johnson took it to the crib. And it was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, Stephon Diggs did have that big play, but I thought Josh Allen made some big third down conversions to salt away the game. I really did. And you know, you look at Lamar Jackson. Let's look at Lamar Jackson. He's made the playoffs in all 3 years. The first year, he made the playoffs. The second year, he's made the playoffs. So this guy is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And right now, we're just getting Josh Allen versus Mahomes. And sure, you know, you traded away Hayden Hurst, which Hayden Hurst is a very good tight end. I don't know why you had to trade away Hayden Hurst. But listen, you got Colin Johnson, who's young. Hollywood Brown's a good receiver. He's only in his second year. And then you got J.K. Dobbins, who's a fantastic running back. So this was going to be a tight game, and the game came down to a few plays. And the Buffalo Bills defense has just been great. You know, the Ravens were more inconsistent than the Bills this year. The Ravens lost to the Tennessee Titans. The Ravens lost to the Steelers both times earlier in the years. So the Baltimore Ravens were a more inconsistent team than the Buffalo Bills. And today, the Bills, I mean, they got after it. They were airtight defensively, a lot of sacks, a lot of negative plays, really running the football. And it's unbelievable. And CR, you're absolutely right. I mean, in this quarterback class, it was all Josh Rosen. It was all Sam Darnold. That's what it was all about. And by the way, most Bills fans, when they drafted Josh Allen, they wanted Josh Rosen. They didn't give Josh Allen a chance. And it was really a fantastic game. Jerry Hughes, that defensive line. And the Ravens, I mean, you look at the Steelers, and it's going to be tough for Pittsburgh to win the AFC North next year. But this game was a heavyweight battle, and I expect to see these two teams play again, you know, the following years. But the Bills are going to the AFC Championship for the first time in 25 years or whenever, 1994. I mean, it was just absolutely insane. And Josh Allen had a lot of time to throw, but Josh Allen made that flat-footed throw to Stephon Diggs, which was big in the fourth quarter. The touchdown play was a screen call by Brian Dable to John Brown. And listen, when you're this good of a team, the coaches are going to get poached from the staff. And Leslie Frazier is going to get another opportunity. Leslie's one of the best people in the business. I'm really excited for Leslie. And Brian Dable is incredibly aggressive. And Marcus, you're exactly right. You know, Sean McDermott's a Reed guy, an Andy Reid guy. And the defense today, I mean, the shutdown, one of the best quarterbacks and offenses in the NFL for the Bills to do. But you got to give the Ravens credit too. I mean, the Ravens stayed in that game. It was 3-3. The Ravens defense was awesome. You know, Gabriel Davis dropped that touchdown, but the what's it called? The Rams defense did not let Stephon Diggs go off in this game whatsoever. And Gabriel Davis had nothing. Cole Beasley did nothing. John Brown played a really good game. But offensively, the Bills are usually so potent on offense. But the Ravens personnel, you have Marlon Humphrey, you have, you know, Marcus Peters and Jimmy Smith and all of these guys. I mean, the Ravens played a phenomenal game as well. I mean, for these offenses to be held in check, it was an absolute war. An absolute war. And for the Buffalo Bills and their fans that have been waiting over 3 decades, I mean, 30 years since the last playoff game, I mean, I can't imagine 30 years of waiting from now until the Giants would ever win a few playoff games. I mean, this is an insane ride. It's a special season. Brandon Beane has built this team up from the ground, and now Brandon Beane selected Josh Allen. He selected Tremaine Edmonds, and they developed Tremaine Edmonds. Matt Milano was absolutely sensational today. And Jerry Hughes, of course, Ed Oliver, Stephon Diggs, the chemistry that Diggs brings. And here's the thing about Stephon Diggs is he didn't get along with Kirk Cousins very well, but he was awesome. And I think Josh Allen was more equipped to throw. I mean, Josh Allen's arm strength is absolutely elite. And that's why Josh Allen was able to convert. He plays in Buffalo all the time. That was a wide open touchdown. It was a long developing play. But these defenses, I mean, you have Wink Martindale versus Leslie Frazier. These are brilliant defensive coaches. And you saw the first game, the Rams defense was absolutely pathetic. They sucked. That made me want to throw up, just like Ohio State, Alabama did. And Aaron Rodgers dominated the first game, and it was so boring because Aaron Rodgers could get whatever he wanted. This game was an old-fashioned football game that I loved to grow up watching. It was a game where the defensive lines were really into the game. It's where the cornerbacks were playing really aggressive. It was a field position game. It's a game where you had to stay patient and really disciplined throughout the contest. And Lamar Jackson, you know, was really fooled by the Bills' defenses. And the receivers of Baltimore Baltimore last year got to the same position in the divisional round. And in both of those games, they really struggled on offense. Against Tennessee, they had a lot of drops. And tonight, J.K. Dobbins dropped a lot of passes. So the Ravens, when they've gotten to this stage, they haven't been able to crack through. But it's a pretty damn good problem if you're always getting deep into the playoffs like the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, you could be like the Lions, you could be the Jags, you could be the Browns, and you could never play meaningful football ever. But listen, Lamar Jackson and this Ravens team, they're always in the damn playoffs fighting for Super Bowls. It's pretty impressive. 3 consecutive years of playoffs for this team. And Buffalo, this is their first time getting to the playoffs. The Bills are having a magical season, and it's probably going to come down to Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes, 2 of the best quarterbacks in the game. Aaron Rodgers, all 3 MVP quarterback candidates going to be duking it out in the next round. It is going to be absolutely insanity. You're going to see either Rodgers versus Brady or Breeze, Rodgers versus Brady or Breeze, and then either Baker versus Josh Allen or Mahomes versus Josh Allen. Wow. Tonight I can't believe the Bills defense played as well as they did. And it just shows you the Bills can win in just a variety of ways. So it just shows you that in this era of offensive football where you can't touch a quarterback without it being a penalty, where you can't even touch a wide receiver, the Bills defense held the Ravens to 3 points through 3 quarters, and then were able to beat Tyler Huntley. And Tyler Huntley actually looked like a pretty decent backup quarterback. So this was a really fun game. Everybody out there, I hope you guys had a great night of watching football. We still got 2 more tomorrow. Again, have a wonderful night, everybody. God bless everybody. Take care. Enjoy the night. And again, Bills win for the first time in a very long time. And it's looking like the Packers are really going to have an opportunity tomorrow. I'll do a podcast on the coaching. Scott Zilla, my friend, thanks for popping in. Everybody, enjoy it. Sabrina, CR, my friend Top Streams, and the Ravens fans that are in here, thanks for watching the stream. Alrighty, guys, take care. A lot of fun. See y'all.